Hello gamers, 2020 has been a strong year for new games. With third half of the year behind us, I compiled a list of best games released this year so far for PC. This list will be getting a lot longer as the year progresses, but for now, here's everything I think is worthy of your time and money. Number 10. Death Stranding. Death Stranding is an absolute masterpiece. It's a triumph of one man's unrelenting, uncompromised vision of hope. So powerful was this vision that it gave a deeply cynical individual like me a reason to hope. It's a technological achievement on so many levels. But perhaps most of all, its revolutionary story, outstanding characters, and singular theme of human connection is the lingering triumph of Death Stranding. But I can totally understand why someone would hate this game. The act of moving can be so frustrating, whether you are driving or walking, and the story is just all over the place. Number 9. Kentucky Route Zero. Kentucky Route Zero is a magical realist adventure game in 5 acts, featuring a haunting electronic score and a suite of hymns and bluegrass standards recorded by the Bedquilt Ramblers. Rendered in a striking visual style that draws as much from theater, film, and experimental electronic art as it does from the history of video games, this is a story of unpayable debts, abandoned futures, and the human drive to find community. It is in the same vein as Disco Elysium in terms of weird, disillusioned storytelling with a focus on scenery and dialogue. Number 8. Desperados 3. If you are craving a game like the original Commandos, this is the one to get. Desperados 3 is a story-driven, hardcore tactical stealth game set in a ruthless Wild West scenario. In this long-awaited prequel to the beloved classic Desperados, wanted dead or alive, John Cooper will join forces with the runaway bride Kate, the shady hitman Doc McCoy, the giant trapper Hector, and Isabel, a mysterious lady from New Orleans. On Cooper's quest for redemption, his adventures lead him and his gang from rural towns, over swamps and riverbanks, and finally to a dramatic showdown worthy of Wild West legends. Play smart if you want to succeed. A good plan can make the difference between survival and finding yourself at the business end of a pistol. Number 7. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is an action-adventure platformer game and the sequel to the multi-award-winning Ori and the Blind Forest. The game includes challenging puzzles, entertaining mechanics, and a deep story. The storytelling is very emotional and engaging. There are many friendly non-player characters added to the game. The players can interact with those characters and listen to their stories. This feature makes the game world a livelier place. Apart from the addition of boss fights, there are new challenges with high replay value in the game, such as combat shrines and spirit trials. Also, the players can try their combat skills against waves of enemies by activating combat shrines or race against time by starting spirit trials. Number 6. Microsoft Flight Simulator. First of all, this is the new Crysis. You need a good PC to run the game even on 30 FPS with medium settings, but it's a very good game. This is probably the best flight simulator game to come in the last decade. Thanks to Microsoft Flight Simulator, everybody can now get a taste of the excitement that comes with being a pilot. The game is so remarkably good at this that you don't even need to use your imagination. Your dreams will come true on the screen. The game have some minor issues and bugs, but we know after some time they will get resolved. Number 5. Half-Life Alyx. You know perfectly well that Valve wasn't going to make a flagship VR title using its beloved Half-Life franchise and do a half-arsed job. A stunningly rich experience from start to finish, Half-Life Alyx is one of the best VR titles available, a perfect showcase for what VR gaming is capable of. It doesn't exactly break new ground, instead providing familiar Half-Life gameplay all wrapped up in a highly polished VR gift bag. Let's just hope this is the start of things to come and Valve decides to make another Half-Life Alyx. Number 4. Mafia Definitive Edition. I wish every remake was done like this game. It is gorgeous to look on ultra-wide monitor. Beautiful game. This game caught my attention from the day announcement trailer was released. This remake is a great way to remember a true legend which nowadays suffers from old age. This game respects the original but with its own twist, a darker, more believable story. Game mechanics are old school, and I think this is good because this game is supposed to feel like the classic. If the developer changed everything in Definitive Edition, the game would not be true to the original. The game is well optimized and it can easily run at 60 FPS at pretty normal range gaming computers. Number 3. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout flings hordes of contestants together online in a mad dash through round after round of escalating chaos until one victor remains. Battle bizarre obstacles, shove through unruly competitors, and overcome the unbending laws of physics as you stumble towards greatness. Leave your dignity at the door and prepare for hilarious failure in your quest to claim the crown. All in all, it's a cool chill game that you can play with mates, but at this moment the game have too many hackers, which can ruin your fun. Number 2. Doom Eternal. If you love Doom 2016, I think you are going to love Doom Eternal. It takes the best parts of 2016 and somehow finds a way to improve on them. Doom Eternal's combat encounters are, quite possibly, the best in the genre. Snappy movement, a varied arsenal and executions, alongside a soundtrack that mixes atmospheric synths with pounding drums and devastating downtuned guitars, all feed into the game's trademark frenetic action. There's unrivaled euphoria in crushing a demon's head underfoot before moving on to kill hundreds more of his friends in equally brutal ways. Sure, it'll take a level or so to figure out this new combat rhythm, but once you find it, you'll never want to go back. Number 1. Call of Duty Warzone. They brought it back big time. As a person who stopped playing Call of Duty shortly after the end of Modern Warfare 3 lifecycle, I was a bit weary of them releasing a new MW game to the mix. However, as I played through the absolutely phenomenal campaign and switched to Warzone, I felt that I hadn't missed anything. Feeling right at home and having a lot of fun in the BR modes and campaign co-op. As a battle royale title all on its own, I find it to be one of the best battle royale games I have played yet. It runs smooth, even in downtown, and the crossplay works well. Considering the 152-player cap, this is really good news that it is this stable right now. That's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. And if you find the video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.